6'3", from UCLA, number 24, Norman Powell.
Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to be doing Norman Powell's strength training workout in honor of his bobblehead night.
Oh, that boy nice!
Let's get to it.
You gotta make sure you get that right there, you know.
Looking at his physique, Stormin' Norm, who is having a breakout season, is very balanced from top to bottom, so it makes sense he's hitting each muscle group in the weight room. He did an interview with Muscle and Fitness where he discussed understanding the grind and shared an example of his strength and conditioning workout. After warming up with some mobility work, he does 3 blocks, which are essentially 3 trisets, and he does each triset 3 times through. I am just putting my shoes on after doing some of that mobility work, and we are ready for the workout. In block 1, there's a dumbbell rear foot elevated squat, followed by a drop step row and a banded squat external rotation. Now, I did modify some things based on equipment availability and my personal preference. The first exercise does emphasize going heavy and slow. So here I'm doing a Bulgarian split squat. The technical difference between those and a rear foot elevated squat is the rear foot is actually more elevated with the Bulgarians. If you're looking for an alternative that does hit more glute, one thing you can try is to lean slightly forward and have your front foot elevated. And I did the most with the drop step rows. I didn't need to go so low with my working leg, but that's just what my body was calling for. With the banded squat external rotation, he does each leg for 30 seconds. I did enjoy these and felt a nice stretch in my hips. They are always extremely tight since I do sit a lot for work. So this is something I'm going to try to incorporate in my workouts moving forward. So the first triset is done. I gotta admit that was pretty fun. So block number 2 is where I really had to switch things up and make some modifications. It lists a barbell glute bridge, a dumbbell 1-arm curl to press, and single leg medicine ball throws. So instead of doing a barbell glute bridge, I did a single leg glute bridge on the bench. And then another alternative is to do these with a dumbbell. They tend to be a little bit softer than the barbell, especially without padding. I did the curl to press as is, always down to do some upper body. And instead of medicine ball balance throws, I did standing crunches. The final set was my favorite and also the hardest. It encompasses a dumbbell lunge matrix, a Kaiser high row, and a Palloff press. With the matrix lunge, there's 3 different stances going from a forward, lateral, and drop step lunge. Now, Norm being strong and conditioned, he does these with cleans, but my wrists just do not allow for that. So as an alternative, you can hold dumbbells at your side, and if you want more, you can add in bicep curls. Since I don't do these in my routine, I found these pretty challenging and ended up going down in weight. No egos here, the importance being having good form. And I also don't have access to a Kaiser machine, but you pretty much use any cable machine for these high rows, and finishing off with a Palloff press doing 10 reps and holding for 10 seconds on the 10th rep for each side, really hitting the abs. Since this is strength and conditioning, Norm ends with conditioning. He does 10 sets of the VersaClimber for a minute, and he rests for 60 seconds in between each set. I sub this out with 30-second sprints with a 30-second rest in between. Now, I know it looks like I'm just jogging, but as someone who does mostly uphill walking for cardio, this is genuinely as fast as I could go in a safe manner. Well, that concludes today's video. I knew this workout was not going to be an easy one. Of course, it's Norman Powell we're talking about. That man works very, very hard. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment below. Let me know whose workout you'd like me to try next, and I'll see you next time.